I'm Jörgen Modin. This is Alex Mizrahi, the CTO of ChromaWay, and he's going to talk about Chromapolis and how that works. Take it away, Alex.
Yeah, so Chromapolis, basically we combine three parties. We combine users, developers, and providers to allow users to run the apps they want without intermediaries. So here how it can work. So we have users over here. That represents the users. Call them users. And we also have developers, because somebody in the end, they need to develop the apps. Have developers. Then we need to host them somewhere. So providers provide the hosting. So there are multiple providers. It's a decentralized system, so we need many. And each provider, it has multiple nodes. So this becomes a node. Each provider has several nodes. And that's where, at the center, we have decentralized application. Each application, it's hosted on multiple nodes from different providers. So developers, they contribute source code. And users, of course, they interact with application itself, but they also provide the funding. So we have cash flowing to the application. So what is Chromapolis here? Chromapolis is actually a system which orchestrates. So Chromapolis has, as a system, it has itself a number of its functions, essentially that decentralized application itself. It has a number of tables which have a directory of nodes. It records which provider is registered, which node and which application runs. And also it has like account system where application and users can have their tokens. So each application, it actually has an account system itself. So it basically uses money on its account to pay for the hosting, and we record all this transaction on Chromapolis. So it's actually Chromapolis runs a billion. So this could run this way. The application can be crowd-funded. So for example, users want a new like decentralized Twitter, for example, and they can get some funds, ideally in Chromapolis tokens, although it can be done in different ways. They can pay to developers to develop the code they want. They probably want to audit this code. And eventually it gets deployed. It gets deployed to multiple nodes. And some portion of money, they use it for crowdfunding. It's going to be used for the hosting costs. So this way we don't need the intermediary. There is no company which is actually responsible for the Dapp. If user wants more feature, they can contact developers, maybe other set of developers, to update the Dapp. It has its own authorization policy when it can be updated, maybe with users' consent. Maybe if somebody doesn't like the app, maybe they can fork it in a separate app so it can be copied, basically. We can have a fork. And a forked app, it can be hosted in exactly the same way. It can host it on this maybe different nodes, but we migrate the data. So this is a general structure. Of course, Chromapolis in principle can accommodate the system itself. Doesn't really have an opinion on how users should interact with developers and providers, but it provides tools to enable this way, to enable users to pay for the hosting directly. So as long as they want actually to use a Dapp, they will be able to, and nobody is going to be able to stop them.